Welcome back to the show. William Wood here. In just a minute, you're going to hear part 3 in a 4-part series of an interview that I did with Robert Smith. Robert Smith is the founder and creator of the Faster EFT system. It's a system that uses acupuncture points for rapid thought and emotion release. It's a system that I've used with thousands of clients, and I want you to pay very careful attention to what Robert has to say today. So it's all about helping somebody change their perceptions, change their programming, get out of the negative memories, negative trances that they've had in the past. Do you have any cases that you can tell us about with business people that were stuck in their business, and how you, and again, what I'm interested in is helping people really get down to the root of what it is that's got them stuck. And I think a lot of times we learn just by hearing what other people have to say about their stories. So do you have any business people you've worked with where maybe their income was stuck, or they were out selling and they couldn't make sales, and then you got them out of that?
Well, you have to understand money. What is money? What is your business world? Now, what I have learned in the early days when I began this, because again, work is a hypnosis. It's a trance place. And what I've noticed, I had this lady come to see me specifically. We were working on her sexual abuse. She was abused as a child. And then she was working at one job and she moved to a new job. And so when I worked at the new job, a coworker, which is her friend, a female friend, went with her to the new job. And I noticed something. I was working with the abuser, which was a male, and we were at work. And then I noticed that there was a similar pattern with the female. And I said, tell me about this abuser in your life. How do you feel about it? So I wrote this list of all their emotions. And then later on, I said, tell me about this female friend who went with you to the new job. These two lists were exactly the same thing.
Right.
All right. So now here it is. Our unconscious mind is repatterning or reusing the same pattern at work. And they use it at different places. So when I have people who come in and we want to improve their business life, it's about their personal life. Now, see, here's something cool. Like, say, for example, one lady comes in and she's a very successful businesswoman. She's very successful, but she really sucks at her personal life. So she has a good business life, but a bad personal life. Sure. And so what we had to do is we had to blend them and use the same skills in both. So when I have somebody come in with a bad business life, I say, okay, and I get a structure and we look at the elements. So usually there's going to be someone who works with them that they can't stand. It's just like their father, mother, whoever. And so the emotional life at work and their value system. Are you smart enough? I mean, this one guy, he couldn't do like the guy who was horrible. He thought he was the worst one in the business. And I go and change his inner head, his world about himself. Next thing you know, he's a top salesman. Did it have to do anything with the work? No, it's a metaphor. So you can do one area and you can work on this area. And like, for example, public speaking has an issue, go back to somewhere else. So business is a metaphoric expression of other things. Your value, who you think you are, your money. Are you deserving of money? You shouldn't have too much money. You're making more than your dad, you may get jealous, or that you're not smart enough, not good enough, or whatever it is. So these are value systems about business. Now, not everyone has all those areas. They may be really proficient in one and weak in the other, but, we talk about this guy who's a golfer, he got caught with his pants down. He got beat up with a golf club. Before he was doing super great. Now he's not doing so good. Is it because his golf score changed or because of his skills changed? No, it's emotions, it's values, and what he does in his head. All businesses is an expression of your inner self and your value system. So what I do is I give you power to shift and change your difficult areas, because you got 5 people, the same job, look like the same problem, but they're 5 different ways they do it. So if you want to improve your business, this is what you do. Notice where the difficulties are. Write it down. Ask yourself, have I ever experienced this before? Then you go and you work on both. You change them, reimprint those memories. Then what's going to happen is like the lady with chocolate. She couldn't have chocolate in her house. As a matter of fact, she in the middle of the night with flashlight in hand looking for chocolate. Horrible. I worked with her 15 minutes later. Chocolate could be sitting on the counter and walk by and there's no struggle, there's no fight, there's no battle. The guy who got the $2 million insurance checks, there was no battle because it's not a big deal, because the emotional system is not there. That's how it works. So if you have someone, look at your business, where is the problem? And you'll notice it's always got a trail. Clean the trail up, and next thing you know, you're doing amazing. You'll do better than you ever thought possible, because you are a very powerful person, obviously.
Yeah, obviously they're powerful. They've got potential. They wouldn't be here, and that's the way I look at it. Here they are trying to grow, trying to develop, and so you're saying you're asking them to look for the places where they get hung up, or the places where they get stuck, or the places where they get triggered, or any of the places.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your personal belief system.
Yep.
Your own personal belief system is what's going to hold you back or propel you. You got two athletes, both of them are perfectly the same skill. One of them is better than the other. It all goes back to what you believe about yourself.
Yeah.
And the emotions.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Now, for those people that are not familiar with with tapping, could you give us like a 5-minute overview of the tapping points and where somebody might start for doing like an at-home practice?
Okay. First of all, tapping is secondary.
Yep.
Primary is what you're doing in your mind and how you know you do this problem.
Sure.
Right? Since a problem is a hypnotic state, a trance, internal representation, you don't necessarily have to know where it comes from. You just have to know you got a problem. You feel it, you sense it, you know it. All right, that's the first and foremost. Realizing that this is a trance, and then what you do is you go to the problem, you notice how you internalize it. You see something, you feel something, you hear something, taste or smell it. Once you identify it, you own it. All right, I have it in my head, I understand this is mine, and you know you want to get rid of it. Associate, and then what you do is you tap. Now, the reason why you tap, these are actually meridian points. If you don't know about meridian points, these are when you think, your mind will send electrical impulses to the body to tell it to, excite. And of course, it tells what you think in your head to become real in your body. When you're tapping, you're just relaxing yourself, basically. That's all it is, just a simple relaxation process. So you just tap, and what you do is when you're tapping, you move away from the trance or the memory of the thinking, because you want to come out of it, and then you tap, and all you do is you just touch and say, I let it go. Now you can do it in your mind. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Peace. All right? Then go back and think about it again. Now notice in your mind what's still there. You'll notice it just doing it one time. It'll just release. You look at it and notice how you know. You may still see something. You may look at a face. You may look at a sound. Notice it still bothers you in your head, and then you just let it go. Now, I personally tap. I like to tap. Now, when I'm not in, like I'm doing a presentation, in my mind, I know how to do it. I just go, and I just relax, because I'm in control of my own mind and my own body. So you can do it with your hands. All you have to do is say, let it go. And then when you go here, you go peace. Now, this is an anchored state. Anchored, which means it's a relaxed state. Now, you can empower this state by going to a happy memory. Step into the happy memory, feel it, see it, be it. Now, what you do is you're using your resources to create a better positive state. And so it's very simple. You identify, you feel it, you tap, you feel your fingers. I just feel what it feels like as I'm tapping. I pull away from the trance. I just feel it and just say, let it go, let it go. Safe, let it go. It's okay, let go, let it go. Peace. Then go back and check it again. Is it still there? Now, everybody does internal representations a little slightly different. Like with me personally, I don't have what you call great visual construction, but I know. So I know if it's there or not. Some people have great visual, they have good pictures, full panoramic colors. Some will have good sounds. So all you do is you notice how you know, and there's a lot to this, and it's very simple too. So that's how you do it. Very easy.
So psychology first, the tapping is just a tool to help break the trance state, or to break the old belief up, or to break up the old memory, and to get out of that stuck state.
Yeah. So I would like to say one more thing too about this.
Yep, sure.
There's many places to do this. The first one is realizing that in the heat of the moment, you're being triggered. Something bothers you, all right? This is what you call pulling you back down to present moment. Get you out of the trance, not being sucked in. Some people will take a break, go to the bathroom, tap it out, and then go handle it. Or something happens, they'll go and handle it. Secondly, there's what we call reflective tapping. Like you should have tapped on yourself, but you didn't. You suffered and endured. Exploratory. That means you go back into your past and you start looking for the stories that your unconscious will use against you to create problems. And there's reflective. There's all kinds of different ways. But the main thing is just get control right now. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole system of Faster T, giving you the power to change your mind, give you the power to create the life you want, and using what we call the ultimate law of attraction. What you hold in your mind, you're going to get.
Now, Robert, tell me about one of the biggest changes that you've gotten just by applying your own system, by identifying these memories, breaking up the old trances.
Personally, or
personally, just for you.
No, there's so many. My life in general, what I'm doing, here it is. I'm an international speaker. I travel around the world. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Australia here in just a few weeks. I'm going to go this. I lived in a mobile home for 26 years. I dropped out of college. I couldn't pass English 3. I thought I'd always drive something older than, no newer than 1978 because I couldn't work on it. All right. So my life today is I'm in a 4,700 square foot home. It's almost paid for. I have 2 brand new. I got a really cool car, the Hellcat. I like muscle cars. This sucker will fly if it had wings. Nice. I also have the Superbird, 1970 Plymouth 446 back Superbird. 20 years ago, there's no way. My personal life, speaking publicly, doing this interview, Robert Smith, you knew 20 years ago, you would probably, when I was sitting next to him on the bus, I looked like I don't know, a bum, or I don't know what it was. It was just, my truck that I had back then, I had a 1974 Dodge 4-door truck, and not one sheet panel matched the other. It had in-floor air conditioning. It had holes in the floor. So what I'm doing today is a personal testament of persistently taking ownership of my own inner world, addressing my fears, addressing my hurts, addressing my past, and moving beyond what I thought possible, because all things are possible. What my daddy said, you can do anything once you set your mind to it. Knowing how to set your mind is the key. I'm one of those kids, and this is a true story. I rode the small bus to school. I was in the special class. I was. And look at me now. And it's all because emotional intelligence is worth more than $1 million in 100 degrees. Because there's a lot of people who are emotionally inept because they don't know how to change their mind. Changing your mind will create the life you always wanted. Because your life you have today is because of your own mind.
That's right. That's powerful right there.
Yeah.
And whoever you are, whatever your situation is, doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what you've been through, you can change that. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that motivates me is that I know that I went years without knowing how to change some things that were in my mind and suffered greatly from it. And I know that there's somebody listening right now, they've gone their whole life, they've been shackled up with old beliefs, they've been shackled up with old thoughts, they haven't known how to get out of it. And right here today, you're just seeing the first glimmer of hope. And what I want to tell you is that you have the ability to change, and you have the ability to let that go, and your whole life can change just like Robert's has changed when you've done that. I hope you got as much out of my interview with Robert Smith as I did. I know I'll be going back in to watch and to take some notes and to learn. This is a man who has developed a system that has really and truly reached many, many lives. And so I just want to thank Robert again for being here today. And I also want to say that if you got a lot out of today's show, one of the ways that you can lock in the learnings that you got is by going down below and leaving a comment. And when you do, you're going to qualify for a free book. We're going to give away a free copy of Monsters and Magical Sticks, which is a book that I recommend all the time. It's a book that Robert recommends all the time too. And we're going to give that away to somebody who leaves a really deeply thoughtful comment down in the comments below. Now, also, if you want to get more information like the information we shared today, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to our daily show. And you do that by going down to the bottom here of the page and clicking on the button and clicking the subscribe button. When you do, you're going to get some extra bonuses. And one of the bonuses you're going to get is you're going to get a transcription of today's episode. You're going to go ahead and get an audio version of the episode. And then, of course, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, we put out some amazing content. Some days it's me, some days it's my brother, some days we invite on a guest. like we did today. And this show is dedicated 5 days a week to giving you the information that you need to be able to take your life up to the next level. Now, a lot of days we're talking about business concepts. Some days we're talking about personal development concepts like we did today. The reality is that what you do with your mind affects everything in your relationships, everything in your business, everything in your personal life. And so we want to make sure that you understand how to take your life to the next level. So make sure you go to the bottom of the page, click the button below, enter your email, and then you'll be on your way. And check your email out for some amazing bonuses coming in your direction. We'll talk here soon.